Greetings, metal lunatics. You guessed it, tonight is Heretic time. The band that brought forth singer Mike Howie, who went on to front Metal Church. The band who brought forth musicians that played with the mighty David Wayne, original singer for Metal Church. Heretic has been active again with their reunion albums, A Time of Crisis and A Game You Cannot Win. Now, we're going to talk to the band about new developments, possibly new material, and a documentary they are working on. So the guys are going to be here in a few minutes. Stay tuned, and looking forward to chatting to them. See you now. Guys, thanks for making it. It's awesome to get you on the show and talk to you guys about the mighty Heretic. It's really going to be exciting to really touch on a couple of subjects. So, but
yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, awesome. Pleasure. How's it been going for you guys?
Well, we've been pretty busy. We've been writing this next album for a couple years, since pre-pandemic. I mean, we were starting to, but we had plenty of practice on writing the album. So we're in the studio right now. And Brian, you've been in the actual studio recording, opposed to me. So let them know what's happening.
Yeah, it's coming along great. Most of the guitars are done for the record, and we're just kind of waiting on doing some final leads and a little bit of a twinkling here and there, 12-string added, and then we will start in with Julian, start the vocals.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, nerve-wracking. These guys are so excellent. I try to make it as best as possible for these guys. But yeah, I definitely got a group of highly professional musicians that I always feel underachiever, but that always keeps me on my toes.
But Julian, I mean, you were part of Heretic from the way beginning, hey?
Yeah, actually, I first signed with Metal Blade with Heretic, but I replaced their original singer, and that was coming out of playing the local scene, Hollywood and stuff. They lost their singer, so I replaced him and actually did a couple shows, and then we signed with Metal Blade for our EP and album deals. But yeah, I was in there for a couple years, about a year and a half, and then we kind of split ways. Due to what may be, but we got back together. I mean, me and Brian always stayed in touch, even though we went separate bands and everything happened with Heretic. But yeah, for a lot of people that didn't know, Heretic's always been around since Brian, 84, 83?
86.
86.
Torture Knows No Boundary is from 86.
Oh yeah, that's when I came in the band, but the band was already an established band.
Yeah. This is just the release. So
yeah, that was the release.
Amazing. And I think what a lot of listeners might not know is that Mike Howie, rest in peace, who later on joined Metal Church, was actually the singer on Breaking Point.
Yes, excellent job he did, man. That was incredible.
And that's really amazing. I mean, sad how it all turned out. I don't know. Do you guys know anything? Have you kept in touch with Mike over the years?
No, yeah, not really through the years. But it was really sad to find out how he passed away, and He had just enjoyed coming back into the band after leaving for a while, and so it was really sad.
Yeah, no, it was really crushing news. It was really scary. I mean, but anyway, and what's important here now is that you found back together, and in 2012, I was amazed to get a copy of Time of Crisis, and wow. And that's only when I learned that this was actually an album with the original singer. And but what I found was like really crushing. Actually, metal nowadays, you know, the term power metal is like it's different nowadays. It's like all this.
Yeah, we kind of go with classic metal.
Classic. Yeah.
What we were influenced by European metal, German, England, anything coming, to the States. That's what we were influenced by early on. Iron Maiden, Scorpions, bands like that. And so I honestly don't try to write in a certain vein. I try to just write what comes out, and it just seems to be, I guess, like you're saying, like a power metal kind of sound. But yeah, we like to call it kind of just classic old heavy metal.
I guess you're fully correct. I mean, a lot of I personally don't like thinking in categories. It's kind of, I just like a song or I don't. But it's like it really has shifted. I think back in the days when magazines were still available, like the magazine Power Metal, and you guys, Toranaga, Malaya Rage, that was all considered sort of like Nasty Savage. That was considered power metal, at least then, whatever. But I think nowadays it's really shifted, and I think I think it's probably the best to just say that this is traditional metal, US.
Yeah, it's the safest thing to say because there's so many categories. It's hard to follow. When we came back in, we were in a whirlwind of different types and categories, and I was going, what happened? but such is life and progress.
It's really
sorry if you got some saws in the background. I'm at work.
No, I'm not picking up anything, so no worries.
Oh, good.
No, but anyway, congrats on a solid return there with Time of Crisis, and obviously the follow-up game, You Cannot Win. Really, it's metal, at least for me personally, that I don't hear that much anymore these days. It's the kind of, I'm a guitar player, so I listen to for those kind of riffs and the kind of song structures, and I'm a huge fan of the Reverend albums, and I know, Brian, you were part of that, and
right.
Yeah, and that was really great. Can you tell us a little bit about the days with David Wayne?
It was a transition from Mike Howe leaving for Metal Church. I think the wave of metal was changing, and I think we saw it was headed towards a little more thrash. So I think that kind of came through in our music, but really some of the early Reverend stuff was just a transforming Heretic. We were growing as writers. We were, just, I guess, being a little more influenced by bands around, I guess that's early 90s, it was a little heavier. So we kind of, I guess, just went with that. But to me, I was still writing Heretic. But now we had Dave Wayne singing. So I really like hearing that there's a lot of resurgence with the Reverend songs and stuff, and I kind of buried it in the past, but now it's nice to hear people talking about the band because it was a good time in my life, and I'm very proud of what we were able to do with that band as well.
Yeah, that was great.
Sorry, I myself, I'm looking from the outside in and knowing these guys and actually going to the rehearsals with Dave there and looking at it. I thought it was a good, solid piece of transitional music in history, and it's too bad that it didn't get the limelight that it should have. But hey, the new sound was out, and everybody was going with the grunge, and unfortunately, that's what happened. And I think the Reverend with David Wayne was an iconic piece of history and music, and proud to say that I play with every Reverend except for the drummer, but I play with Reverends every night, every time we get together, and I sit there in awe sometimes. But we all grew up together. I still sit there in awe with them. I've been watching these guys since they were in high school.
Amazing.
but it is amazing, and Reverend is a solid piece of metal history. That is for sure. And Brian, sometimes he gets a little humbled and he puts himself towards the back. He's always looking forward and moving forward, and doesn't realize how important his writing abilities were and are to music of today. Which I know I'm pumping you up, Brian, all the way from
Thank you,
the
brother.
other side of the Los Angeles.
Don't sell yourself short. I'll tell you what, my one of my all-time favorite riffs is Power of Persuasion.
Oh, yeah.
When that kicks in, it just, I get goosebumps. it's like,
Yeah, you know, I listened to it maybe about a month ago. I was on YouTube and it came across it and I went, wow, that is a cool riff. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that one. Yeah.
But that being said, Time of Crisis is jam-packed with riffs. So is your follow-up to that. But let's get back to Heretic. I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever played, I tried researching this, I couldn't find much. Have you played Keep It True Festival in Germany ever?
No, we have not.
Yeah, the only festival we've been able to get over to do is Headbangers Open Air. That was in 2013. Okay. We would love to go back. We would love to play anything. It's just a matter of, you know, we don't have management. We're just a bunch of dads and we have jobs and, you know, we do what we can, you know. I would love for the band to be able to go back and play some festivals over there.
Oh, definitely. I think Keep It True would be such a perfect bill. I'm amazed that you haven't been invited yet. But hey, might be something.
Hey, we'll put the word out right now.
I'll try and put
someone
the word
invite
out.
us,
please. So you are working on new material, as you said just now. You putting the sprinkles on top, basically, as guitars are concerned, from what I gathered. And then it's off to Julian to lay down the pipes.
To
go ahead and scream the melodies out. Yeah.
This is probably the most. It'll be a very diverse album for us. I think we're growing. It's been 10 years since we rejoined and reformed, and as writers, we're really growing. So this album, I think, is really. It's impressing me. And we have a great producer, Steve Watson.
Wow.
And he's just doing a fantastic job and he's really bringing everything out. So once we did some demos with Julian already, and it is by far the best he's ever sounded and the best it's just, I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, because I think, Julian, you've definitely, vocal-wise, you're one of those singers that I call... in German, there's a word called it's markant. It's you stand out from the rest. You know, it's just you have a certain vocal style. It's not interchangeable. You know, it's not. It's as unique as David Wayne was. You know, it's really a unique vocal character.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to tone in on a sound or a particular sound and just going with what comes naturally. I mean, I used to, when in the earlier parts of my earlier writing periods, I was always trying not to listen to radio and stuff just because I always had that tendency to almost mimic or come up with a great line and go, oh, damn, I heard that on the radio. Never mind. So I just tuned out. And it was kind of hard for me to isolate. But now this time around in writing, I mean, not only do I have Brian there to kind of coach, and he writes a lot of the lyrics and gives some suggestions. And a lot of times I'll just go ahead and listen to the music and just start trying to fit it in, and make it sound right to what the music's playing. This time around, we got not that all the other engineers that we had were bad or anything, but I think that this engineer, Steve Watson, since I've known him ever since I was a child and never even knew he recorded, but he's a great guitar player, so he definitely knows the sounds of the musicians, but he actually captured what I hear internally externally, and it's an awesome thing. I'm excited to get in there and lay down this album for the guys and with Steve, because Steve obviously he hears my inner voice, so to speak. So it's definitely a powerful. It's definitely going to be a powerful version of Heretic this time around.
Oh man, I'm looking forward. But now writing has obviously changed for so many bands now in the last decade. I speak to so many groups that, you know, they basically, every musician does his own tracking, they put it together, and then they either meet or they all track it and then it just gets mixed. Do you guys still sort of send back and forth digital files just to sort of get the song structure down, or do you still go to the jam room and say, listen, hold on, let's bang this out?
No, we practice in a tiny little room with little baby practice amps and low volume. We don't practice like, you know, some bands with technology now, you don't even have to be in the same room anymore.
Yeah.
But we're close. What me and the other guitar players do, we bounce off each other. We don't necessarily try to make okay, what are you playing? I'll mimic that. Why? You know, I guess it's more of a classic kind of metal sound, is that Stu does what he does, I do what I do. It's in either ear, is going to be a stereo effect. And we do a lot of stuff with a live feel to it. When we did demos for this, we played it live, and it really would have been good enough for a record. And we did it all as a band. We just played live. So I think we have a natural old school kind of recording. We're back in the day where it's just, you know, don't overthink it, don't overproduce it. Just go in, play what you do at rehearsal, and if it's a clean take, that's what we're going with. We're not, you know, some songs, I hate to say it, are just so overproduced, and you can tell as a musician that that's overdubbed, or that wasn't even them playing it because it's too tight, you know. So I'm happy with what we do as a team and of guitar players, that we really, he accents things that I'm doing, and I accent kind of what he's doing, and it really works well. And we've been doing that since Reverend days, you know. So yeah. Stu was in Reverend as well. So yeah, it just, whatever comes out of him, he's such a fantastic guitar player. And like I said, Julian said earlier, I'm just blessed to be with a bunch of great musicians that I can introduce a song, and the first thing out of everybody is exactly what I'm hearing in my head, and I'm blessed with that
chemistry. Yeah. No, but I can only second that. Listening to the last two albums, it really still has that organic feeling, you know, that organic warm feeling to it. And like you said, I want to just touch on that. I mean, with technology nowadays, I mean, a lot of it's cut and paste. And I think that original, when you play, you have that push and pull. Mm-hmm. You know, those little imperfections that make it, you know.
That's what, to me, you want to keep. That's what makes it special. And it doesn't sound over processed. But there is a sound for that. There are bands that when it is so ultra produced like that, it's heavy as heck. You know, it's like, wow, that's amazing. But that's not us, you know. So.
Yeah, I guess if you're Fear Factory, then it fits, you know, or Meshuggah, then go for it, you know.
Yes,
but it's really...
they all play with a raw live sound. I mean, even when we, you know, record, it's there's absolutely no effects. Even when I do live, it's 100% old school 58, or you know, if I'm feeling a little tired, I'll go ahead and get the Sennheiser and scream through that, because it gives me a little more push for higher ends. But no, I mean, the band, they plug straight into an amp, and I mean, they have their little effect, just, you know, to lower or do their leads, and that's about it. I mean, my guys are old school. We're all raw, and that's, you get what we play, and fortunately, people like it, so that's great. Yeah, when you like the new recordings, I notice there's a lot of digital stuff that's happening. There's nothing wrong with old school tubes, right, Brian?
Definitely.
I mean, they cost a lot, but, you know.
Yeah, but for me,
I'll let you in on a secret. I had to overdub a couple little takes, so it's not all original playing.
oh yeah, but that beats like play it once, copy, copy, copy.
Copy paste, yeah.
Not too much, but
Yeah.
No, but really, I remember the old punch-ins with analog. It was really with those old Studer machines. I mean, you had to be
oh yeah,
on track,
you needed a really good producer to be able to do it. Now, boy, what they can edit is just absolutely amazing. You just go, wow,
no.
how did we ever do it in the past? So yeah,
Yeah.
But to get back to it, what I really enjoy about Heretic is it's a certain metal style that I personally love, and it's a style of metal that you don't hear that much these days anymore. I mean, even with a lot of these new wave of true metal bands, it's a very certain style, but that typical classic US orientated metal sound for me has gotten very rare.
right. My son, he's 24. He's into metal, and he's always sending me new bands. And a lot of the stuff that the really young bands, there is a return to kind of more classic thrash or more not so overproduced sounding band. There is a lot of bands out there right now that are younger that are really trying to rediscover the roots of early metal. So it's great to see, because I love when he sends me new bands and he goes, yeah, they're all really young, and I go, that's so refreshing that bands are rediscovering it, and then they'll make their own take on it, and it'll form. And there's so many styles of metal that, I mean, it's great that there's so many styles, but it's crazy with how much the difference in sound is through the old classic thrash to now some of the heavier bands that just, wow. It's different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the extremes just sort of the boundaries get pushed. Torture knows no boundaries.
Yeah.
So I've discovered that you guys are working on a documentary.
Oh, yeah. It's completed. I think they're gonna preview at the end of the month, Brian, or is it next month?
Yeah, it's mid-September. We'll do the debut.
Yeah. So this takes you back from the beginnings to nowadays.
Right.
What can we expect?
Go ahead, Brian.
It's through a friend. His name's Tanner Poppet. He's in a band called Madrost, and he's been doing podcasts and interviews for years, and so he's been a friend of the band. He just approached us saying, your band needs a documentary. People need to know about what you guys have contributed to history. And he kind of threw the idea out there, and we went, yeah, sure, that would be a great idea. But he really, really took the bull by the horns and created a masterpiece. It's a fantastic story about. He interviewed all our old roadies, old friends, he just did such a fantastic job with the storyboard, how he was able to intertwine everyone's answers with his questions. And it really tells the complete story of the band from start to present. And can't wait for it to come out. I think people are really going to like it. He did such a fantastic job.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us how we will get hold of this? Will it be put out on a channel somewhere, or?
Right now, we're just going to do a viewing for. I think it's probably about 100 people will fit in the theater. And then I don't really know. I don't know if we're going to want to release it when we do the album, or if he has plans for how he wants to release it. That part we haven't really gotten to. It's finalized, it's finished, but all the marketing of it, we're not really sure on how all that's going to go down yet.
Would be amazing as a little double CD, hey, with a DVD in it.
Oh, I would love it. We could. We have enough material, but we kept it to, I think it's 12 songs, so it's the next record. So.
Yeah, you have to. Is it Dissonance Productions that you signed to?
A label?
Yeah.
No, right now we were with Dissonance Records. But right now, I don't know. We haven't really even gone that far into it yet. We were probably looking at releasing it ourselves
Okay.
and figuring something out with that. I mean, why give anyone else? We might as well do it ourselves and make 100% of the profit. You know what I mean?
That seems to be the modus operandi these days. DIY. It's
Yeah.
really. So, is there anything you can reveal about the next album? A title, perhaps, or can we?
Julian?
No, go for it, Brian. It's brainchild, man. We got actually.
Do we have a title?
we do have a title, but I'll let Brian go ahead and reveal that so he can say.
Oh, okay. It's no secret. It's called A Shape of Things to Come. And we've got cover art already done. The artist that did the Time of Crisis album cover,
lovely.
Tom Berg, was able to give us a beautiful piece that we're going to put for the record cover. It's really dark and it looks great.
Total metal.
Yes, that was a killer album cover. But I take it the song material. You've always been very socially critic. I don't know if so much political, but the lyrics always had a strong critical stance.
Yeah, generally with a bit of conscience. Just me giving an observation of life. I don't feel that I preach, but I do show sides of what's going on in the world. I don't want to reveal how I truly feel. I want everyone to make up their own mind. But I think with the lyrics, they're so open that no matter what you believe, you can see the truth in it, whether you're to the right or to the left or whatever. I think it's just kind of common sense and just views on the world. I'm always hoping for something positive and good. And I think deep rooted in everything that I write, that's what I'm looking for, positive solutions, but I'm just giving an observation of life and what I'm seeing around me. And that's kind of what I've always written about. I don't write too much fictional axes and blood and vampires and things like that. I tend to write a little bit more about life and experiences and things like that. Except for Whitechapel. We have our Jack the Ripper song that I wrote when I was younger. So.
Yeah, but it comes across beautifully, and I think with Julian's delivery, it really has this sort of. It does have a little bit of I'm on my soapbox here, listen, without being too indoctrinating or anything, yeah.
Right, and that's what I go for. I don't want to be that if you don't listen to me, you're wrong person. I want someone to listen to the lyrics and go, oh, wait a minute, I should look at myself, or maybe something like that. That's kind of the way I've always viewed how I write. No,
that's right. So, okay, are there any live shows that you are planning now in the near future in the US?
Actually, we haven't really discussed that. I know we're going to have to go ahead and promote this new album coming up, which we're going to go ahead and start planning that right when we get out of vocals, because not only, like I said, are we going to try to release it ourselves, but we're going to have to make an appointment. I mean, Angela's been doing a good job, but we need somebody to actually help us get to that next level of promoting this album on a tour. And we will be setting up stuff. I mean, we got a local gig for our immediate friends and family coming up next weekend at our old rehearsal studio. And that's going to be an outdoor event during the Sunday afternoon. But other than that, we haven't really sat down and had a game plan. I know we got plans on going back to the East Coast. I'd love to hit the Northwest and the Southwest and maybe even do some Vegas shows, or at least a Vegas show, and then head out that way. But we got to map it out yet. And there will be dates to follow as soon as the release is out.
To do some shows with Metal Church.
You know what? That has been a great idea since Mike Howe got back in the band, and we thought for sure, but we weren't hearing anything. We reached out, or I'd reached out, and I wouldn't hear nothing back. That was kind of odd, I thought, but you know, it's such a small game that we play, and a lot of people don't want to share the limelight, you know, so to speak. But you know, unfortunately, because we're all happy and content with just playing live, man, you know, and making t-shirt money, and that's fine.
Oh my goodness.
But
My goodness.
you know,
Getting paid, what's that? You know,
yeah, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just you probably are doing it more for the fun, you know. Yeah.
At this point of our times of our lives and our age and our level of what we do, it's pure love, you know. It's
Exactly.
pure love for us, and not only that, it's for those who really want to hear it and truly know about us. And it always amazes me when we get out of our area and we get to a place and they said, dang, I've been waiting 20 something years to see you guys finally. And it's incredible stories we hear from people, and it just blows me away. I'm sure it blows Brian away, you know. Or people at life things with them. I remember one guy goes, and he was already like middle-aged, or in his 30s. He goes, oh man, my dad used to take me to go see you guys when I was a kid. And sometimes I go, what? Oh well. Sometimes I almost get offended. I say almost get offended, but at the same time, it's I don't realize how old we truly are. But I think it's only in your feel, right? It's what you feel, right, Brian?
Absolutely.
I feel 28.
100%. I feel 28. Yeah, that's it.
Well, we just played a show maybe 2 weeks ago, and 45-minute set. I was pretty sore. So yeah, it's we're getting up there for sure.
Amazing, guys. It was awesome talking to you. What I am going to do actually is forward this video to the organizers of Keep It True. I really want
Thank you
to get in there. And but as for you guys, I'd like to include a couple of important links underneath the video. Do I just concentrate on your Facebook and Metal Archive sort of links, or do you have anything else that you'd like to plug?
No, not really. We don't really do a website. Everything's through Facebook and just Instagram, things like that. So you know, Heretic. What is the Facebook? I don't even have social media, so I don't.
Brian's not on Facebook anymore. It for a while there, it was getting pretty dang negative and political. So but no, it's a Heretic USA or Heretic.
Metal.
Heretic USA, Facebook, Heretic Metal. Yeah. And that would be it on that. I mean, our Instagram, Angelo takes care of that, and he does a pretty dang good job. I always look to get updates on the band when I haven't talked to them in a week. I'll go, oh, Angelo's got something. Hold on.
No, but I'll look up for the docu as well and try and push that as well. And I'll send you guys a link when everything's online.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Great.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for making the time.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Night.
True.
Cheers.